Kamen Rider Build.
Hey YouTube, Kamen Rider here. Review time for Kamen Rider Build episode 43. So, this was an interesting episode. I have a couple things I want to touch on. Couple directions the story is taking I'm not too huge of a fan on, but we'll see. This episode primarily revolved around Sento doing his best Tyler impersonation. He just kept going, Dad? Dad? No, I mean, that's an exaggeration, but kind of. It was mainly about his dad and his relationship to him. And we kind of pick up where we left off, and you have, which results in Ryuga beating on Build Dad, and Sento using genius to stop him because it's his dad. And then he's like, well, I was wrong to do that because he's our enemy. It was one of those classic scenarios. It's like two toku tropes, or even just show tropes I hate in general, which is where you have, all of a sudden, somebody's important because of their parents. I hate that. I'm not like it's always hate it, but it's done so often. And in this case, for me, it just undermines so much of story that I liked about Build. To all of a sudden have his dad come in and be so important again. And almost take the role of the evil creator from what we originally thought was him. But anyway, so there's that. And then there's the situation of somebody choosing a parent or a family member that they've known for less time and know less than their friends, but they choose them anyway. It was very brief. And I mean, I know for example, he knew his dad longer because he grew up with him, but his memories are so jumbled, and it's like, I just argue that he knows, you know, Sento better. It's like, Barry, oh, you've probably known your friends for more time than you knew your mom, but let's mess up the timeline for him. I mean, I guess it's kind of hard, because I'm not in a relatable situation where I've had to bring someone back in time with that, but let's not bring the Flash into it. But as bottom line is, this tropes I hate. So then there's this whole weird thing after he's moping after he stopped Ryuga from smashing him. Honestly, he literally said that. He said, I'm going to smash everyone. So I was like, whoa, this is a PG show. Maybe PG-13. But, it's funny because I think that he should have stopped him just to stop Ryuga from going out of control, because he's kind of, it was explained to us that he's been amping up because when Evil opened the black hole, he like amped his power up, so it's like also affecting Ryuga. So again, I feel like they can't decide is he connected to him or not. I guess when he took back the bottle, he reconnected to him, but I don't know. Again, every time I mention this, people think I don't get it. I get it. I just don't think they get it. I don't think they know which way they want to go. Like, I get totally what his story is. I just feel like now they are picking a direction a bit. I'm still a little mixed on it, but I feel like they keep changing what they want to focus on with him. But we'll see how that goes later. That'll be definitely a topic of discussion when I do the series review, is how that was all handled. But anyway, sidetracked. Regardless of his issues for his dad, he probably would have stopped him anyway because Ryuga's kind of losing it. Because, you know, even if he was like, I don't care about my dad, they probably need answers out of him or something, or just stop him from losing himself. Not the dad, Ryuga. Anyway, I'm getting long-winded. I distracted myself a bunch of times. So then Banjo, or Sento, goes through this thing where he's like, oh, I don't know how I can move on. I could only do this before because I thought the build driver was created for justice. What? Like, I thought for a good chunk of the series, he believed the belt was created for war by the demon scientist version of himself. And is that, like, it wasn't until recently we came into this idea of, oh, we had to stop evil, but there was a good chunk of time where he was trying to make up for the deeds of it, and it's really bothering me, honestly. The rewrites of that are really bothering me, because not only does it feel like out of nowhere that this would happen, but, or maybe there's something I missed or something I'm not catching with that, but it seems out of nowhere. And also, again, it kind of undermines a lot of these elements that I really liked about Build. Like, I loved the idea that before, when he was Kasaragi, he was like just an evil guy, kind of, like, who didn't care. But then now, again, I know that they have hinted at it and been building up to it, but I still don't like it, where it's all of a sudden now, oh, he had good intentions, he just went too far. Like, I like the idea that he was just this dude that was taking advantage of, oh my god, we have this amazing new stuff with Pandora Box and Nebula Gas. Let's see what we can make out of it and make war machines. Not Rhodey. But, and I liked the idea that he used to be that person, because it makes it so much more interesting that he's using this system that was created out of greed and evil science for good, and it makes Sento's transformation into this good person so much more interesting. And you can still hit the notes of wanting Kasaragi to let Sento take over because he wants to be a better person by just having him you can still have all that, like, oh, he realizes, man, I was a terrible person, but you don't need to reinforce, like, oh, he kind of had good intentions, and then make it, oh, his dad created it for evil, and it's just, because I like the build system and Sento both used to be having a bad connotation, now being used for good. Again, we'll see how this goes. They could smooth this out in the next handful of episodes, but it just is very mixed for me. And it's not something where I'm like, to hell with Build, and then I throw my computer. I don't want to actually throw it. But it just bothers me a little bit. And also, there was this thing this week where they're like, aha, it was Sento's dad's idea for you and Banjo to become writers. It's all a manipulation. I thought we knew that already. He just thought it was evil that did it. Like, back when Bloodstalk was revealed to be owner and evil, not evil, like, he was like, yeah, I used you to, you know, get Misora to make these bottles, and we needed to make, like, that was already established. It was like a re-twist. Like, I get it. It's a new twist that, like, oh, he thought his dad created the system to fight evil, but now he didn't, and he wanted them to become writers for this purpose, and they were being manipulated. And again, it reminded me of the Sawa thing with the spy. Oh, she's a spy. Just kidding. Wait, she's a spy again. Just kidding again. M had 2 surgeries. It's like a re-twist that seems unnecessary. And even if they wanted to include that bit about him being involved in the plan, having this drama over Sento being like, oh, my life's been a lie. Yeah, it was already a lie. It was just, there's just, you know, a higher up lie. I don't know. It just bothered me. It seemed like redundant, and we'll see where it goes. And I don't like the idea of this vibe I'm getting that Sento's dad's like the super mastermind. I didn't mind him just being like an Igor for Evolt or something, but I don't know, we'll see. I feel like I'm sounding really negative, and I'm not really trying to, because I'm still enjoying the show. This was still an enjoyable episode. It had some good reveals and some good action scenes, but I'm just bothered by the way the plot's twisting, and I think that might be due to that classic thing where this conversation comes up almost every year in Rider, where they have to fill out so many episodes that it feels like sometimes they're dragging their feet. And in the case of Build, I feel rather than dragging their feet, they were trying to come up with more twists. Like, oh, okay, this is what we want to do. Like, wait, Joseph's on the writing staff, I'm just pretending. We have 10 more episodes. Oh, crap. Let's bring back his dad, and then do this, and then, like, just write this twist again, but it's his dad. And then Tyler's in there, and he's like, Dad? You're not my dad. And then just another twist. And that's what it feels like. And someone had brought up, I don't remember if it was in the comments or on Twitter, but that they kind of missed Rider having more than one core villain. And I was thinking, like, I would like to see that again. I agree. Like, maybe next year for Geo, have more than one antagonist. But I was thinking, I like Evil fine. But then this week I was actually thinking, that could solve a problem. Even if, like, we still have Evil be the main antagonist, we could have some other antagonists. That way, like, make Mad Rogue his own thing, maybe. Maybe he's a bit of a rogue. Or maybe have, like, one of the government states survive. And I just think that could maybe be a way to fill out time better, rather than make another twist where it feels like we're stalled with Evolt's plan of, like, they know what they want to do, but they have so many episodes they have to fill that they have to be like, okay, we have to have a reason why he can't get to his goal. Let's change his goal a little bit. And that's what it feels like. It feels like things are moving, but it feels like they're changing just to stretch it out. And I think that I still would want him to be the main antagonist and the central focus, but I think if we had some other adversaries happening, then you could be like, okay, well, we have 10 episodes left, let's do a couple episodes and focus on, like, Mad Rogue or something, or like, I don't know, Hokuto survived and is trying to make a final push, and they could still make it interesting. I don't know, that's just, I'm kind of just bouncing off the wall with that, but the point is I think that they could have found ways to fluff the narrative, not in a negative way, but to enhance the show, but didn't force them to drag their feet and make it seem like they're coming up with twists for twist's sake. Anyway, but let me know what you guys think. Again, we have like maybe 7 less episodes. I don't remember what Bill's ending at, 48 or something. We end roughly between somewhere 47 and 50 usually. I don't remember what Build's number is, but soon. So we'll have bigger talks in the series finale and the wrap-up talks. I didn't mean to bog this down so much with that, but it was just a thought I had. The only other complaint, and I hate to end it on a complaint again, that I wanted to touch on was it was explained that Build Dad was owning them so much because the build system was made for him. I mean, I'm glad we got an explanation. At least Build original recipe build wasn't just owning all these upgraded suits with no explanation. Kudos to them for at least saying something, but it doesn't really make a ton of sense. If anything, it should have just been more like when Kasaragi took over and he had a hard time operating Build. Like, it was still just as powerful, but, you know, Sento just knew how to use the system better. I don't know. Again, I'm glad they had an explanation, but it does bother me a little bit that just because it was made for him, suddenly, basically the level 1 system is competing with all these higher level systems. But anyway, as for the episode itself, I'd give it a 7.5. Still some solid stuff. I'm just not a huge fan of the way things seem to be turning in a lot of ways, but we'll see. Definitely gonna keep my mind open. But yeah, anyway, until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell for the for the notifications if you're subscribed, because otherwise you're not gonna see anything. And then how would you hear my 2-minute ramble on nonsense? Anyway, Dawson Rider, signing out.